Hi Jenny, how are you? Can you hear me properly? Hope you're having a good new year and things like that. It's absolutely freezing here today. It's icy to say the least. Hope you're doing well. It's a bit of yeah, it's good that you can hear me properly, that's great. Jen, this time around Vegan Life, Jen's going to be coming on in a little while. Basically, we're just going to be having a chat away, but I was wanting to kind of talk about some mental health things and such likes, and kind of try to talk about over-exercise and some other new studies that's actually been coming out as well. But first off, I'd say, a bit upsetting, obviously, Jessica, my dear friend Jessica Australia, and as you know only too well, Jenny, she's released a video today basically saying that she's not going to be coming back on YOUNOW, basically because all the kind of drama that's going on in YOUNOW and things like that, and I thoroughly agree with her, because all this personal attacking people that are making out, like calling people, calling people fat and all kinds of stuff. I mean, and like she says, it becomes an addiction, and it very much is true. I mean, it takes over your life, and you end up everything that you're doing in your life becomes like secondary to it. And I've spoken to her, and I send her all my love and everything, and I just hope, I know she probably won't come back, but she's doing what's right for her, and I thoroughly support her 100%. Thanks very much, Jen, for So I was going to chat firstly about a new study that's actually come out. It's actually a new study that reveals key differences in brain activity in people with anorexia nervosa. So I say in October the 12th, 2015 in New York, when people with anorexia nervosa decided what to eat, they engage a part of the brain associated with obviously habitual behaviour. Let's say the findings actually by researchers at the Columbia University Medical Center in New York State Psychiatric Institute, the Mortimer B. Zuckerman Mind Brain Behavioural Institute in New York University, was published actually in the Nature Neuroscience. Just catching up with the chat here, guys. Was said she had some great thing to share, but can understand why she feels the same way she does. Exactly, 100%. Like I say, anorexia, as we all know, like I say, is a obviously serious and puzzling illness. Even at the critical signs, it can actually become increasingly recognised that the mortality rate actually remains the highest amongst any psychiatric disorder, as we all know. So like I say, a highly stereotyped feature, obviously, of eating disorders is a persistent selection of all the low-calorie foods and such likes. Obviously, despite our kind of desire for change, and we all know that, let's say, obviously the brain mechanisms we get underlying, obviously the persistent and restrictive eating patterns are obviously very unclear. So I say the researchers actually used functional magnetic resonance imaging, which basically tracks your activity in the brain in the real time, to obviously monitor 21 actual women with anorexia and obviously 21 healthy people while they were making a series of choices on the food they ate. So like I say, basically as expected, like I say, the people with anorexia consistently choose fewer higher fat foods. Like I say, the brain regions that they used to make their choices were also obviously very, very different. Like I say, for the people with anorexia nervosa, choices about what they were to eat were associated with the activation in the kind of dorsal striatum of the brain. Basically a region that's known to be related to like the habitual control of brain, these kind of actions basically. So like I say, furthermore as well, like I say, activation and obviously the frontal striatum brain section circuits during the experiment predicted how many calories that they actually chose to consume in a meal the kind of following day as well. So like I say, these are all kind of data linking the abnormalities in the brain activity with the kind of salient behaviour disturbance of anorexia nervosa, and obviously the restrictive food choice. Obviously the findings as well, that I say, they open up kind of a lot of new avenues for the treatment development and understanding the disease mechanisms. let's say, they basically said that they're developing a new psychotherapy intervention built on the kind of principles of habit reversals that sees it kind of help with patients with anorexia and nervosa, like change kind of maladaptive behaviours. Hi Malgorzata, nice to see you here, and I hope you're having a great day. I saw your video the other day showing your cake and things like that. It looked amazing. Like I say, that chocolate cake, I need to get some of that in me. So like I say, basically these findings of this research basically show up a lot of new avenues for the treatment, developing and understanding the disease mechanisms. Like I say, they basically said that they have developing a new psychotherapy intervention built on the principles of habit reversal that obviously helps patients with anorexia nervosa change those kind of behaviours. And they obviously said that they're improving their understanding of the brain mechanisms, and like I say, new medication targets obviously may emerge as well. Yeah, Malgorzata, I'm really sad about Jez. I was speaking to her earlier on. Like I say, support her 100% because I totally agree with what she says. I mean, it's got to the point, this attacking people online, like attacking them personally and such, like attacking them for like their weight, and obviously attacking them for their colour, their spirituality, any beliefs at all, just getting to be really toxic. And like she says, it's becoming an addiction basically on here. And if it's when it's affecting your health and such, like that's when you've got to step away. Exactly, I understand her 100%. Like I say, she needs to do what's best for her, and we'll all support her 100%. Like I say, she's my best friend, and I think the world over, and I'm always here for her 100%. So like I say, this study as well obviously may help kind of link anorexia to disorders such as like substance abuse and other conditions that obviously involve like choice-related excessive activity in the dorsal striatum. So they said basically Daphne Shohame, the PhD author and associate professor of psychology and principal investigator at Columbia's University, said there is tremendous value in obviously studying how the brain makes decisions in both health and disease, understanding how common like brain circuits for decision making contribute to seemingly unrelated disorders, while obviously allowing researchers to focus on obviously the core kind of disturbance and leverage treatment across like many different disorders. So it really looks good to see that they're actually seeing that we do make different choices in different parts of the brains. Malgorzata says, Tommy, you look healthier than I remember you when I first met you. It seems you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better, Malgorzata. I've still got a long way to go. Like I say, I'm not going to kid myself. I don't take it lightly because I've got a long way to go. But like I say, sometimes I don't look back and appreciate just how far I've come. And I know I'm reaching my first target. I want to get to that 70 kilograms. Like I say, I'm not making New Year's resolutions. It's what I'm going to call a New Year revolution. That's my opinion. New Year revolution, not New Year resolution. Because it's all about me getting to that healthy stage before I can start doing anything. And like I say, my health comes first, but I don't want to start saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. My health comes first before I can start making those transitions. Malgorzata says, I did dance a little for New Year while streaming, imagine that. Yeah, getting the Zumba moves on. I was obviously going to talk about compulsive exercise disorder. Obviously this is something I've suffered with a lot in the past, and it's very much a trigger for my eating disorder on top of things like grief and such likes. Nice to see you here, Cat Moonstone. I hope you're having a great day. And like I say, when I do exercise, I've got to be very careful because it's something my eating disorder latches onto quite a lot, and it's basically it's led me down a path of destruction too often in the past. I'm wanting to get back and obviously get the muscles back, and basically I know that when I do it this time, I know the key areas I've got to look out for, and basically where I went wrong the last time and how I can prevent that from happening in the future. But I know it's something that a lot of people with eating disorders struggle a lot with, exercise athletica. And especially myself, we've been an athlete in the past, been a semi-professional footballer. Exercise has been something that's been my life, and it's something I miss so much. But try to do it in a healthy way for me is very, very problematic. And like I say, sometimes I think to myself, I compensate my exercise for food, or I use it to basically allow myself to have food. Like I'll say, if I do X and X amount of exercise, I can have X and X and X amount of calories. And basically, like I say, that's just one way of swapping one addiction for the other, and it's very, very unhealthy. Like I say as well, like I say, the difference between healthy and unhealthy exercise is all about enjoyment, in my opinion. Like I say, compulsive exercise, often you basically find no satisfaction in your athletic achievement. So like I say, you almost never do it for fun. You ask yourself all different things about exercise, and you often, if you speak to people that's got exercise athletica, they all say that their days were ruined if they couldn't get their kind of 5 mile run in, or their gym session and such likes. So like I say, exercise addicts like myself will obviously find time at any cost, including like cutting family events, anything at all that takes over my life, whether it be appointments or going out shopping, anything. Like I say, taking time off your work or hiding in your bathroom to exercise, getting up during the night like I was doing, basically getting up during the night, doing press-ups, sit-ups, getting out 30-mile runs, and I'm not joking when I say that. I'm talking 30-mile runs. I really used to do that. It'd be like from Dalry to Colwynnon all the way out to Irvine, which is 15 miles there, 15 miles back, and then I'd be getting back up 2 hours later, jogging all the way down to the train station to go to my work, getting off the train at night, going to my football practice, then getting back home, having something to eat, getting upstairs, doing all my weights and such likes, my resistance exercise, doing so much. Jen says I'm hooked bad. Yeah, Jen, that's when it really becomes an issue. When you know you're getting hooked to it, then you've got to start to really think to yourself, am I doing it because it's making me feel good, or am I doing it because I've got to do it? Because if you're doing it for that reason, well, then it's become an issue. Hi Matt, nice to see you, mate. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're having a great new year. So like I say, compulsive exercise may be more than another way just to like purge or binge in some ways as well, because as with all different eating disorders, the apparent goal is obviously to burn calories and lose weight, but ultimately the exercise provides like a temporary sensation of power, control, and basically self-respect that we don't have for ourselves in such ways. So like I say, a fundamental obviously principle, the kind of Mirasol treatment philosophy, is that eating disorders are kind of chronically stress-related illnesses, and we all know that. Like I say, hi Peaches, hope you're doing well. So like I say, it's a way to basically cope with stress, forget about the underlying issues. It's basically a way of kind of escaping life struggles in such way. I basically put it down to in such way, like it's like wanting the world to stop and you to step off, kind of such likes. Hi Lady Heart Boss, nice to see you as well. I hope you're having a great new year, Lady Heart Boss, and Princess Peaches as well. Let's make 2017 great again, guys. So I say, obviously combining restriction and binging and purging with compulsive exercise can obviously quick to lead to kind of serious illness, including things like kidney and liver failure, heart attack and death and such likes. Thanks very much for the likes, Matt, I really appreciate that. Jenny says, I was worried for my husband there for a while when he ended up injuring his back because he is overdoing weights. Yeah, like I say, I've been through quite a lot of that. I was going through and obviously suffering with sciatica and such likes. Resistance exercise is very, very important for like your bone density and such likes, and it's something that I need to do for my health, and obviously for the cardiovascular side of things, basically to get my heart pumping properly again. But when you're doing it for anything other than your health or enjoyment, and doing it for things out with them, then it's becoming a problem. Thanks for the likes, Malgarazat, I really appreciate that. So, talking about myself, I've wrote down a few here things. Athletes and eating disorders, like I say, athletes like myself, we've been a semi-professional footballer, basically we're engaged in compulsive exercise to please our coaches and basically our parents, and kind of meet the expectations of others in some ways. Like I say, eating disorders continue to be on the rise with athletes and I see this often too much. Let's say, especially those involved in like sports that emphasise like fitness, such as like your gymnasts, your figure skating dancers, and kind of synchronised swimming and such likes. Even now, you're seeing like the kind of fitness model and the bikini model and such likes, and the swimwear models like the guys and such likes. They're wanting this kind of ripped, lean physique. And it's all because of like the social media pressure of these magazines photoshopping like these kind of unrealistic bodies. Like I say, they're all photoshopped, and they're cutting out parts of themselves and such likes, and it's far from the truth of the actual person that they are. And I think that's what we buy into so much. Like I say, according to a 1992 American College of Sports Medicine study, eating disorder affected 62% of female athletes. Like I say, an athlete with an eating disorder and an exercise addiction risks many health consequences, like heart murmurs and such likes, or arrhythmias, and are actually naturally aggravated and actually made worse. And like I say, especially when you're doing a lot of kind of like restrictive exercise and like restrictive backgrounds, you've obviously got the potassium, the magnesium, and the phosphates and such like. So these are all electrolytes in the cells and such like, and they all became so mixed up and can actually bring on serious heart attacks that I've talked about before. Thanks for becoming a fan, Sanity. I really appreciate that. So like I say, they're obviously more prone to like stress fractures and obviously physical injuries than basically other people. Like I say, any injuries basically take on an abnormally long time to heal. Hi Little Nixon, nice to see you here. So in my opinion, what is healthy exercise? Let's say to maintain basically cardiovascular health, 2,000 calories to 3,500 calories should be burned each week through aerobic exercise. And this is a healthy exercise program that I'm talking about here, such as maybe whatever you're doing, like running, dancing, cycling, and such likes that are swimming, or your weight-bearing exercise, which is resistance in the gym. When what I mean here is no more than 45 minutes a day, maybe 3 to 5 times a week. For some people, it can be 6 times a week, basically to acquire these kind of health benefits. Exercise beyond that, let's say that 3,500 calories per week, however, it basically leads to a kind of decreased in physical benefits and obviously risk of injury. Obviously as well, touching upon, if you ask yourself, do I have an exercise addiction? So I've wrote down some bullet points here. Like I say, these are basically the red flags that maybe exercising for the wrong reasons, or disordered eating, and obviously food obsessions and compulsive exercise. Number one, like I say, is preoccupation with obviously exercise routine or kind of intrusive thoughts such likes about the exercise that interfere with your ability to obviously concentrate or focus. And basically what I mean by that is when you're doing exercise when you've got other things on the go, basically you're sitting, maybe you're working, you're thinking about exercise, or you're doing exercise when you want to be having special times with your family or anything, or basically when it's taken over your life and you're doing things out with that. Maybe you're doing it when you're ill and such likes, you've got the flu, or you've got basically aches in your joints and such likes, but you still want to get out there and exercise because you feel you've got to. So I say another one is finding time at any cost. Like I say, like I touched upon, obviously cutting your school, or you're taking off your time for your work, or you're taking off time for special times with your family and such likes. And basically exercising is your social life in some ways. Like you turn down social events with your family, or you schedule your workout no matter what to fit in with your life. Another one, like I say, exercising alone, basically to avoid having your routine disturbed. So basically what I mean by that is you're getting up during the night and exercising when your husband or your wife or maybe your parents are sleeping, or you're waiting till your husband or your wife's out the way, and then you're straight into the exercise. That's another way about it, like I say. Obviously, exercise is driven primarily by a desire to obviously control your weight, your shape, or your body composition. And that's what I say. You should be exercising never really about if you're exercising to make yourself healthier, that's good, but never get focused upon a certain body image. Obviously, if you're doing it because you're doing it to save your life, you're very, very overweight, you need to lose weight and such, then that's really, really important. But like I say, if you're doing it to get ripped abs and such likes, and you're doing it for these curls for the girls, as I say, that's just nonsense. Like I say, you see it in gyms every day. They're sitting looking at themselves in the mirror and such likes. And obviously as well, they say, get these ripped abs in 6 weeks. You see it in these magazines and such likes. Guys, that's absolutely nonsense. That never happens. And to be honest, as a personal trainer, I know myself, these guys are in all different types of steroids. They're using Dianabol, Trenbolone, they're using everything. Like I say, obviously they're using testosterone and such likes, which obviously is naturally occurring in the body anyway. It's like Laura says, you look in the mirror, Tommy. Exactly, I do look in the mirror, and that's my eating disorder part of me. I do that often. I look in the mirror and I say to myself, am I fat and such likes, and I'm constantly wanting to get these kind of ripped abs and such likes. But like I say, I've got ripped abs, but for me, it's basically, that's no natural ripped abs, but I have had ripped abs obviously with exercising in the past. But it's basically, if you think of it, it's a true saying, when you're so thin you've got ripped abs, but it's just the same as an overweight girl that's got big boobs and such like. So if you know what I mean, that's a true saying. It's the same in comparison. So it's no very natural, if you know what I mean. So I say another one, a red flag, like I say, you can't take rest obviously off because you're obviously want to exercise no matter what if you're injured or ill. Persistent desire obviously to unsuccessful attempts to control or reduce your exercise during the week or time off. Engaging in obviously non-purposeful or excessive exercise beyond a sensible fitness or training programme. Basically, if you're exercising when it isn't fun or pleasurable, or you've never felt satisfied when your physical achievements, is another one. Another one that's very, very prevalent in women, like I say, is amenorrhea, which is basically the loss of 3 consecutive menses or failure to begin kind of menstruating by the age of 16, and a stress fractures. Another one, obviously, with osteoporosis and such likes. Catching up with the chat here. Jenny says, I started exercising to help towards me lose weight. I believe it's about trying to find a balance. Like I say, yeah, it's also about a healthy balance. Like I say, it's enjoying your food and enjoying exercise and balance. And like I say, a little bit of what you fancy does you good, and it's very, very true. Mask Monkey says, so what you been up to for the last 20 years? For the last 20 years, yeah, like I say, I've been having an eating disorder for the last 20 years, and that's what it's all about. Like I say, I've been through much of these kind of issues in my life, and that's why I feel comfortable talking about them, because I know what's happened to me, and if what I'm saying basically even says to somebody, look, this has happened to me, don't let this happen to you. That's my message, and I can speak about so much because I have recovered fully in the past. I was recovered for 5 years. I was back up to my healthy weight of 12.5 stone. So I know what it needs to be done to recover. But like I say, everybody's recovery is far different. What works for me probably won't work for you and won't work for you. And that's why I say my lifestyle probably won't work for you, and what your lifestyle probably won't work for me. We're all genetically different, and like I say, we're all just suffering from many different restrictive backgrounds with eating disorders, and it's got a lot to do obviously with the length of time you have been suffering with an eating disorder. Obviously for myself, 20 years is more than half my life. I'm now coming up in 37 in 10 days time, so I've been suffering for that since I was 17. There's a lot of damage done to my body, and things that when you've been suffering for that length of time, obviously there's a lot more work needing done, and you've been suffering for a restrictive background for so long. So basically, if you look at it, you've got a ton of amount of calories, and I'm a very much a calorie deficit for most of your life. I'm probably in millions of calorie deficits, if you can put it in slightly. So my body's using a lot of my calories up to actually repair the internal damage, which is obviously your heart and obviously your liver, your kidneys, repairing bone density and such likes, because suffered with a lot with osteoporosis and things. I'm actually releasing a video tomorrow that I hope you guys can look upon. It's basically touching upon, I had a few questions from people saying to me, the foods you're saying that you're eating, like your vegan cakes and such likes, you can't be eating them because you've not gained all this weight. So I've actually put out a video on it and been very, very open and honest about this. So I hope you guys can check that out, because it'd be really important. Also, as well, I would ask you, anybody that's subscribed to me, if you can please click on that little notification bell that's next to the subscribe button, so that will let you know every time I release a video, because with the new YouTube algorithm, a lot of people are not getting notifications of my videos, and I want everybody to see these videos if possible. Nikita W is asking, where are you from? I'm actually from Ayrshire in Scotland, Nikita, so that's why you're getting that Scottish twang. Mask Monkey says, opinion on recreational drugs, Tommy. I don't agree with recreational drugs at all, Mask Monkey. Like I say, I feel that obviously things like cannabis and things like that, I know a lot of people say they've got a lot of health benefits and things. For me, I do not believe in it. I feel for a lot of people it can actually lead from one drug to another. I know it doesn't always for everybody, but I've seen a lot of people starting off in that and then leading through to heroin and such likes. Obviously, cannabis oils and things like that, I would say they're very, very effective for people that's get terminal cancer and such likes and suffering with a lot of illnesses that have got severe pain and such likes, and that's got a very much use for them and such likes. But on recreational drugs, I don't agree with. I really don't, and it's something I've never done, and I never ever would do. Because like I say, I've seen so many people die with recreational drugs. Like I say, I've seen people die with heroin use and such likes, and it's absolutely terrible. Like I say, a lot of people get led on to that. You see people dying obviously with taking ecstasy and such like. They're out dancing at clubs and things, and they don't realise the kind of severity of what happens. It's basically with ecstasy and such like, they actually die because they get that extreme thirst and they start taking in fluid, and it actually kills them and such like. I've obviously as well, I wanted to touch upon, Jenny S says there, sorry Jenny, I have a friend who's using cannabis oil for her cancer. Exactly. My mum actually, before she passed away, was actually offered cannabis oil to help with her terminal cancer, but at that point back in 1997 there wasn't a great kind of deal of research on it and things like that, and my mum just didn't believe in it, and she believed that she basically had to try and get through it herself. She was on obviously what's the name of that drug? Tamoxifen, I think it was called, which was the cancer drug, and she was on MST and such like, so she had a lot of pain relief and drugs, but she was on like radiotherapy and obviously chemotherapy. She was getting big doses, and it just wiped my mum out. And seeing that, the kind of effects chemotherapy has and obviously radiotherapy has in their body, it's terrible. I say, sometimes I think that's actually worse than the actual cancer in such ways, because you see them, they're constantly sick and such like. My wife's been on that, as she says as well, and my wife suffered so much with sickness and such like. It's a terrible thing. I obviously want to as well touch upon as well, guys, and I hope you can bam up the likes here as well. Like I say, get the likes up, try and share as many people, and if Jen's in the chat, we'll have Jen on in about 10 minutes straight after this. I obviously wanted to touch upon kind of how to deal with like fears of like your fear foods as such like, because when we're in eating disorders, we've got so many fear foods, and these foods that we deem as being safe, as we call it. And when I touch upon fear foods, I've been getting a lot trying to kind of cope with my fear foods, and I'm getting a lot, but there's still fear foods that I have got, such as chips, which you in America call fries and such likes. and foods that's kind of cooked in oils and such likes. I've overcame my fear of chocolate and such likes because I've got vegan chocolate, and I know the chocolate I'm putting into my body is cruelty free and it's got so many benefits for my health and obviously the planet. Obviously as well, I've overcame my fear of like things like pies and such, because I'm now eating vegan pies, and like I say, they're all cruelty free and such likes. I've obviously all the kind of vegan, which we call junk foods, and I say there's no such thing as junk foods in my opinion. All food is good food, and when you're in eating disorder recovery, food is your medicine, and that is one thing. Like I say, you need food and all your calories to repair your body. So like I say, obviously touching upon fear of trigger foods. So like I say, for many people in recovery, obviously this task of kind of reaching your fear foods obviously seems very daunting, and can actually be, you wonder where you actually want to start. Like I say, some people actually may obviously put off this challenge by telling themselves that they'll face the kind of fear foods when they're feeling like less afraid and such likes, or when their eating disorder voice is actually quieter. So like I say, however, the kind of paradox that we face and such likes is basically once you actually begin to feel less afraid by actually gradually exposing yourself to what you're actually afraid of, and kind of do it, basically say to yourself, I'll do it anyway. And that's one thing, like I say, it's very hard, but you've got to make that step to try and obviously get yourself into recovery. So like I say, I had kind of basically over the last 19 years of my eating disorder, which will now be 20 this year, I always wanted to kind of let go of the fear, to kind of basically, before I actually took any chances and such likes, when I was kind of no longer afraid. Like I say, for most of my life I had played with the kind of game that it would, and with this kind of game it had never actually worked. Like I say, fear of particular situations obviously dissolved when I finally confronted them. The doing it basically comes before the kind of going it away as such likes. Ultimately, like I say, the fear, a normal part of the process that obviously comes with the kind of normal growth. How obviously it is actually possible to feel afraid and do the kind of behavioural actions anyway. Like I say, further actually as well, the reality is you cannot fully recover from a restrictive background and eating disorder without kind of challenging these food rules. And obviously the fears, like I say, although the kind of eating disorders, thanks for the likes, Lee, I really appreciate that. The kind of more obviously complex and obviously just the kind of food. One critical aspect of the recovery process is kind of normalising your relationship with food, and part actually by pushing you out of your comfort zone. And now I'm not saying in any way that it's going to be easy for anybody to face their fear foods, because I know only too well that it very much isn't, and I know that often. So like I say, if you wish to kind of find the freedom, it's very necessary to obviously challenge yourself in kind of small gradual steps. So like I say, following obviously are some of the kind of tips that I would recommend for people to actually follow their fear foods and kind of overcome them. Hi AJ, I hope you're doing well. I say, love you so much, and keep fighting. I'm here for you 100%. Sending you all my love, and you know what, I'm always here for you. You just need to message me many times. I've been talking a lot about kind of eating disorder issues and such likes, about exercise addiction. What I'm on just now is kind of tips on fighting your fear foods and such like. So if you like it, I would really appreciate that. I say, number one, like I say, is to write a list of your fear foods, starting with the ones that are the least challenging to the most challenging. Like I say, this kind of goal of challenging your fear foods is gradually like a step out of your comfort zone in a way that's obviously very anxiety provoking, and I want to say that really much. Love back at you, AJ, and I can't wait to see you this year. It is now, not next year. We'll be much healthier and we'll enjoy a great meal together, and we definitely will. So I say, therefore, it can actually be helpful to actually make a list of the foods that you're least challenging up to the ones that are actually your most challenging. This way it can actually ensure that you face your fear foods in a way that is most gradual. Kind of basically starting from the bottom of your list, basically working your way up, in my opinion. Edward Angu, I'm vegan, 100% vegan for the animals, making veganism great again, 2017. It's all about cruelty-free food, making veganism open to everybody. So if you've got any vegan questions, anything you want to know, there's plenty of vegans in the chat. I'm vegan myself. Any questions, we'll answer them for you. Go vegan or go home, mate, definitely. I'll fan you up just now, and I hope you can fan me. Became a fan, I really appreciate that, and I would love to guest you sometime as well. So like I say, also it's kind of really important that you obviously expose yourself to the same fear foods multiple times before moving on to your next one. Jen's in the guest queue. I'll guess you in about 5 minutes, Jen. How long have I been vegan, Edward Angu? I've been vegan since January 2017, the 12th of January, which was my birthday. So the 12th of January, 10 days time, it'll be my 37th birthday and my vegan anniversary. I'll actually be doing a special on YOUNOW about that as well. So great times, like I say. It's basically helped my life so much. It's helped me overcoming my eating disorder and such likes. But like I say, I'd been wanting to be vegan for many years, but I was prevented by my eating disorder recovery team, obviously because a lot of people use it as a mask of their eating disorder. But obviously, all the times that obviously when my eating disorder started in 1997 with the loss of my mum, like I say, I suffered a massive heart attack. I was dead for 9 minutes. And I was in a potassium coma for 3 months, and then I recovered so much. And then what I done was obviously I met my wife. I was back up to my 12.5 stone, and then obviously as well I relapsed when my wife had a miscarriage and 4 miscarriages, and I obviously had ovarian cancer. And then I recovered a little bit, and then my dad obviously had severe diabetes, and he got an amputation. Then he had a massive stroke and heart attack in 2014. I relapsed then, I went back into hospital. I was in there for a good long while. I come back out about April 2015, and then January 2016 I went vegan. Like I say, it's overcame my eating disorder voices. Obviously knowing what I'm doing when I look in the mirror is not just helping myself, but helping the animals. Like I say, I do a lot for animal activism. I do for Go Vegan Scotland, which you'll see here. I do for Save the Movement Scotland. We go to animal vigils and such likes, and can I try to show the kind of cruelty to the pigs and such. Edward Angu says, haha, amazing, I was vegan for 6 months, I will keep looking to get vegan again in the future when I'll get older. Yeah, like I say, just do what you can do, mate. Like I say, it's about making veganism open for everybody. Like I say, for veganism for everybody, it's always not possible. It's just doing what you can do. Like I say, whether you can only do a vegan meal once a week, you can do a vegan meal maybe once a day, whatever. Just whatever you can possibly do actually within your realms. That's what it is. It's about making everybody under the vegan umbrella, making it open to everybody. Photon says, how are you doing? I'm doing great, Photon. Like I say, I've had a little bit of a kind of rough week and such likes, try to overcome things. Obviously, I'm suffering a lot with hypermetabolism and such likes, and kind of gut issues and things like that. And obviously, but I'm getting there 100%. This time of year has always been the hardest for me, obviously, with anniversaries of the loss of my parents and such likes, but getting on there, fighting through, making it all great, making 2017 great again. So like I say, obviously it's important to obviously expose yourself to the same food groups, obviously multiple times before moving on to the next one. Like I say, recovery isn't a race. It's okay and normal if the process obviously takes some time. Like I say, if you've got a bump in the road, that's all what recovery is. Recovery is not linear. You're going to get bad days, but it's going to sleep or going to bed the next day, waking back up, choosing recovery, get back into it. That's what it's all about. That's winning. Getting into your next meal, fighting that for it, basically eating by the clock every 2 hours, because obviously you've not got those satiety cues to your brain, so you need to obviously eat by the clock. So like I say, if your anxiety is obviously significantly decreased in response to your particular food that you've obviously repeatedly exposed yourself to, if you want to try and actually move on and make a list to make it more comprehensive, you could obviously include a scale where you eat, you can rate each food like 1 to 10, like in terms of how anxiety provoking it is. Additionally, like I say, you could obviously have a space next to each food, which is something I've done quite a lot, and kind of record your thoughts and your feelings prior to obviously following each exposure. So like I say, for some it actually can be helpful to obviously write down what your eating disorder voice is telling you about each food group, and basically write a statement next to it from your healthy voice. So basically what I mean by this is, you're basically listening to your eating disorder voice, but actually knowing that that eating disorder voice is not you. Listening to your own voice and saying, what's your eating disorder voice telling you about that food, and what do I really think about it? And that is basically taking back your eating disorder kind of behaviour, taking control, like I say. Obviously, number 2 is start by pairing more challenging food with less challenging food. And what I mean by that is, it's another technique used by some to actually kind of use each exposure to pair your challenging food with a less scary food, so that it's not kind of overwhelming yourself too much. So like I say, this is another rule which obviously you have to follow, and it's very important to kind of figure out which methods works for you. But this is another strategy that some people might actually find helpful. Obviously, if you feel that you're ready to kind of challenge in 2 foods basically at a time, go for it. Like I say, there's no right and there's no wrong. Like I say, obviously, any way to expose yourself to it, it's really about finding out basically what works for you. And basically, additionally, it's critical to obviously be mindful that you're obviously not engaging in any compensatory behaviours following the kind of exposure to this, as this will obviously not allow you to to feel your anxiety and naturally come down on your own, and basically it kind of serves to obviously strengthen your eating disorder voice, and basically doesn't take back control of it. So like I say, number 3 really as well would be to kind of find a kind of support person that can assist you in facing your fear foods, whether this is your wife, your husband, your parents, whatever, so that when your eating disorder voice is very loud, it can make it very difficult to obviously disobey it on your own. So like I say, finding a support is really important, and obviously find the foods can actually be kind of helpful in your eating disorder recovery. Basically, for instance, if you have a therapist, a nutritionalist, or a mentor, or anything, basically asking them if they would be willing to help you in like eating some of your foods along with you. And if you don't have access to a kind of recovery team, basically asking a friend, your partner, or a family member to basically help you with your challenging foods. So it's very important. Another one is obviously to practice self-compassion, and this is a thing that I think we've all got to do, is kind of self-compassion for everybody. So I say true strength is obviously not denying yourself any food or avoiding certain foods. Rather, it's basically setting yourself targets and obviously facing your feared foods despite what your eating disorder voice is telling you or screaming at you. Like I say, however, it's very critical that you try to practice self-compassion for any perceived mistakes that you actually may make in your recovery. Like I say, food challenging will not help you in your recovery or your recovery journey. So basically what I mean by that is kind of saying to yourself, this food is perfect for me, this food is good for you, this food is bad for you. All food is good for you, so don't demonise any food groups. You've got to get a good relationship with all your food groups, your protein, your fats, your carbs. Obviously for your fats, especially for women, obviously for your soluble vitamins A, D, and K, for hormonal function, brain function and such likes. AGL says, had to realise that pacing after a meal was another tool that ED was using against me, and had to switch to colouring, doing a puzzle after. Exactly. It's all about a kind of way of trying to kind of distract yourself out of your eating disorder voices, doing ever what you can, taking yourself away from the situation. So like I say, I hope that's kind of set some kind of ways and obviously to cope with eating disorder and take back control and such like. So I think it's very important. So I'll get Jen on for about 10 minutes if she's wanting to come on and guest and get her chatting away, see what she's saying. Making veganism great again in 2017.
Hey there.
Hi Jen, how are you?
Good. Hello everyone. My name's Jen. How are you?
everybody in the chat, if you haven't fanned up Jen, please go and fan up her. She's got a great YouNow stream. She does a lot of obviously vegan chats, Zumba and such likes, documenting her recovery. What's it, 50 weeks now she's been on a weight loss journey. I think it was 202 pounds or something it was you were at one point, wasn't it?
Well, I was over 200. January 21st, I was 199.2, and that's when I actually weighed myself. I didn't weigh myself before that.
Yeah, and what is it, you're down at 140 or something is now, isn't it?
140. I'm hoping tomorrow to be in the 130s.
That's it. Your actual target was 135 it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you're nearly there, definitely.
Yeah. I might go a little bit lower than, I don't know.
No, definitely don't go any lower than that. Like I say, 135 is absolutely amazing, because you think of it, that's absolutely great. You don't need to go any lower than that. Any lower than that, you'll be very, very unhealthy, because you're looking absolutely perfect at what you're at now. So another £5, that's great. Like I say, you don't need to do any more than that.
AJ watches my Zumba, I think.
Yeah, she says you're Zumbalicious.
I will be streaming Zumba tomorrow live, so I'm letting everybody know.
Yeah, so I'll be joining in that. We'll be doing some Zumba, so definitely everybody, if you like doing that, get in the chat. Obviously, get on Jen's stream, fan her up. Like I say, she's an amazing, amazing person as well.
I have off of work tomorrow, so.
That's great. Definitely, we'll definitely been on that.
But as far as the fitness goes, Tommy, I totally hear you, because I've noticed a trend in myself, which you've noticed as well. Yeah. 3 hours, not even the whole gist of it. Like, you're only seeing parts of it. Like, I literally woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. I didn't go to bed until 1 o'clock. And seriously, I wanted to do it already.
I can totally relate to that, because I'm going to, like I say, I'm 100, I'm open % honest with everybody about my things. I don't like to keep anything a secret, because I feel that what goes on in my life, I know a lot of people out there are struggling with, so I try to share it with them, and if anybody can pick anything off it and it maybe helps somebody in any way. But like I say, I'm constantly, even as I sit at the moment, I fidget, I do this, that and the next thing. It's all a kind of way of, yeah, it's something in your brain telling you you've got to do that, because it's thinking to yourself, if I fidget and I do this, that and the next thing, I'm burning calories and such likes. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I do it often. But even if my wife's in the chat, she'll tell you. I used to sit, and what I would do is I'd sit and hammer my hand on and do things like that, and I'd move my hands about constantly. It's move my feet up and down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've noticed a trend in myself lately. Yeah.
That's
other people have noticed it as well. I can't sit still, basically, and I want to go like for a run early in the morning, which I can't because it's still dark, but I want to do Zumba all the time. I love it. It makes me happy though, but it's like you just can't stop. Like I even do stuff when I'm doing dishes.
Well, that's what I say. Now that you know it's a problem, that's the time to definitely say to somebody and get help about it, because when you don't let it go, and then that's when it basically in some way becomes a choice. And I know only too well, a way back for the start, that's the very beginning, and you've got all the same symptoms as I had back then, and it just spiraled.
AJ's leaving. Bye, AJ. Nice to meet you.
Sending you all my love, AJ, and like I say, keep fighting. You know what, every one of us are supporting you 100%, and we're all here for you, and you'll smash it. Like I said, just keep doing what's right for you. It's getting you healthier, and 2017 you'll be back there again.
Right, we'll help you. But yeah, Tommy, actually last night, I don't even know how many Zumbas I did yesterday. Last night at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, I was doing Zumba again. I don't know. I just can't. I don't know.
That's what I was saying earlier on. Like I say, 45 minutes a day. That is what everybody, any health professional says to you. You should never ever do it any more than 45 minutes a day, because that's optimum for for health, fitness, weight loss, everything. Anything more than that actually catabolic to your body, because actually what you're doing is actually you're reversing things, because you don't realise that, but you're getting into like ATP and such likes, which is your aerobic capacity and things. It could be more damaging than anything.
Yeah, I did the Zumba and I went for a run yesterday. I think it was 3 point something miles, which isn't the greatest that I usually do. Then I did more Zumba, and then I did more Zumba. I don't know. But I love to dance, though. That's the thing. And I don't know. I've noticed a trend of being happy and sad, like a lot.
Yeah, I get that often, and that actually is what it's the very same thing as me, and it's part of the exercise thing. And what that was actually diagnosed with is called hypermania. So basically, what it is, it's similar to bipolar, but it's not the same, because like with bipolar, they go from like intense lows where they want to like kill themselves, and if you know what I mean, and then they'll go to tense highs where they're absolutely manic, and you know what I mean. But it's similar in a certain way, because it's like from going from like one extreme to the other, and it's all part of that kind of eating, that kind of over exercise type thing. It's part of that mania.
Yeah, I definitely noticed a lot of a change.
Yeah. I don't know if you watch Matt the Vegan. He's got an amazing YOUNOW stream as well.
Awesome.
Matt's amazing. Me and Jessica have watched him for quite a while. He's a great guy. Like I say,
Matt the Vegan. Yeah, I saw his chat. Yes.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he is awesome. I told him I'd guest with him sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to guest with him sometime as well. Definitely.
I don't see anything in the chat. The last one I have is Jenny. Is that the one you have?
The chat, yeah, Jenny, then Matt, but the chat is quite slow. It's YOUNOW that's doing this quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't see Matt's chat at all. Sorry. What happens is if people are chatting on their phone, sometimes it doesn't show up at all.
Right, yeah. I was watching your motivational Monday this morning when out in running the hill with the snow and things like that. It reminded me much like Scotland.
What's that, Tommy? About the last part? What did you just say?
I says showing me the bit with the snow and things like that. I says it reminds me very much like Scotland.
Yeah, I like snow, but I have a love-hate relationship with snow.
Yeah,
I love it, but
that's somehow though. That's a punisher.
Oh yeah, try running that sucker. And when you get to the top, you have to go faster.
Yeah.
And you're not done once you get up there. You have to still go quite a ways. At least 6 miles. So
what's your kind of, have you got any videos planned for this week and things, or what you kind of thinking about?
Well, I'm going to do my weigh-in health check-in.
That's tomorrow, is it? Wednesday, is it? Sorry, isn't it?
I'm going to do it tomorrow because I have off of work. So.
Right, yeah.
I'm hoping to be in the 130s. But
yeah,
if not, it's all good, you know. I did kind of overeat a little bit yesterday.
Oh, that's... The exercise will well compensate for that, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. But you're right about that. Normally, I don't eat enough at all. And I've noticed a change. Like, when I take my lunch now, I don't even take a salad. I just take, like, a little bag of dried bananas or something, and that's what I have.
Yes, that's exactly the same as I had. That was exactly the same. I mean, way back then, I was an omnivore, so that obviously I was doing things like I would go from like having one little roll with a little bit of ham on it and filling myself up in Pepsi Max, and maybe like have an apple and a banana a day. And it was yeah. I would have things like fruit because I knew they were major low calorie and such likes. And
no, I've definitely noticed. I used to take shakes to work. I used to take smoothies, and now I'm drinking water. So
yeah, I was exactly the same. Mm-hmm.
And especially if I'm going to weigh in the next day, then definitely I'm putting it out there. I'm being real, being honest.
That's exactly it. Let's say that it's great you put it out there, but like I say, I would definitely say to you, definitely speak to somebody about it, because when you don't obviously speak to somebody that's kind of professional that you can get help, that's when it goes the opposite way, because I know only too well that you can never beat it yourself until you actually, it just keeps going and going and going, and it thrives in the secrecy. Definitely.
No, I understand that for sure. And I want to do that video with you about self-image soon here.
Definitely, we'll definitely do that. Definitely.
Because I watched some of my Zumba plays on the moments on here. I didn't like what I saw. No. And it's really weird because at the moment when you're doing it, you feel, you know, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, definitely. It's like those endorphins to the brain. It's basically you're compensating food for exercise. So instead of getting the kind of endorphins that you get, it's basically like a high. It's like a high in some ways. If you can think of it, it's exactly the same. It's like I said to somebody before. If you think of a drug addict when he maybe takes whatever he does, maybe he takes heroin or something, he gets that massive elation. For people suffering with exercise addiction, it's the very same thing that we get.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a high. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. But like I said too, it helps me from getting depressed as well. Yeah. Because I can be running and I'll start bawling my eyes out.
Yeah, I know, and it's terrible, so it really is.
Yeah. So it's kind of trying to find, like Jenny said earlier, it's about finding a balance.
Exactly, that's exactly it, definitely. A healthy balance of both, and healthy balance of everything in life, really.
Exactly. But I do have good news. My son's coming out in February, so.
That's amazing, yeah. And if everybody in the chat hasn't actually seen Jen's son's channel, his channel's called Lately Inspired. I'll actually put that in the chat. He's obviously he's a marine and such likes. He's going to be doing a lot of vlogging and such likes, and so if you can check that out on YouTube, you'll see it. I think his thumbnail is it's a kind of Mustang car, isn't it?
I'm sorry, what was that, Tommy?
He's the little icon for his YouTube channel. It's like a Mustang car, isn't it?
Yes.
So you'll find that one there, Lately Inspired.
And he's now saying that he wants to sell it already. I'm like, what? That kid. He's gone through 2 cars already since he's been there.
Hi, Mohammed17. Nice to see you here. I hope you're having a great new year.
Hey, Mohammed, how are you? Yeah, Tommy, I'm going to do some Zumba today for sure. I don't know if I'll run. I have to work today. But tomorrow for sure, I'm definitely doing Zumba, running, groceries, things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, my video. I got to do my weigh-in.
So, busy day, definitely.
Yeah. Which does mean, and I'll be completely honest, that I probably won't eat hardly anything today. So I'm putting it out there because I know how it is.
Well, definitely fight that voice, because if I can do it, you can do it. Everybody can do it. But the first step is you realise that that's a problem now. Now you've got to overtake that kind of, well, it is. It's basically it's an eating disorder behaviour that knows it's there. So you've got to kind of fight it, and the only way to do it is by knowing that you're doing what's best for you, and it's overtaking it.
Right. So we're warriors, Tommy.
Definitely, 100%. We'll not let anything beat us. It's about putting on that armour and getting those swords out and fighting it.
Exactly. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. It is only 7:52 a.m. where I'm at.
Yeah, it's 12:51, so I'll just be going in a couple of minutes, obviously try and get something for my lunch and such likes, and definitely.
I might go on another stream, I hate to tell you.
Yeah, definitely. I'll join in later on. Like I say, if you're on, maybe if you go on if you're going on about an hour's time or that, I'll be able to join in then, definitely.
About how long?
About an hour's time, maybe.
I can see, I don't know what stream I'll go under, but I'll be on.
Yeah, I'll definitely be on then. So if everybody in there's, or even if you go on whenever, I'll try and get on and join you after my lunch and things. So
I want to do Zumba tomorrow, 7 a.m. my time, I think it will be.
Right, so everybody in here, so this is right about an hour earlier from now, which would be 12 noon, so about an hour earlier, Jen will be on doing Zumba on her channel, so if you fan her up as well on that, and she'll be on later on as well, chatting away. So
I'm not doing Zumba today on live. I'm going to do just a regular chat. Tomorrow I'll do Zumba because I'm off of work.
I'll be definitely been in that, and it's been lovely speaking to you.
You too. Nice to meet everyone. Have a wonderful day.
You're here for me as well.
All right. Thank you, Tommy.
So I hope you can all go and fan Jen up. Like I say, she's absolutely amazing. Like I say, 100% she is, and one of the great fighters in this world, and she's going to do it just the way as I am. So I'll sing you out with a wee song. Why not? Like I say, I've got to, because this song, I'm right into it lately, and why not? It finishes off the day in a positive mind. It's called Silhouette by Tom Odell, and I think this is world. I keep walking at night in the freezing cold, staring at the shadows that coming up the walls, giving me a feeling I can't define. Is there anyone there? Say in the dark, but all I get back is a beating heart, going out to rhythm, and I realize, oh, something's changed. Oh, something's changed. Silhouette, a flick in the blinds, just a main trick. I don't know why, but it reminds me something that I used to know. All that I can't forget is every night right beside me. I open my eyes, but it reminds me I should have never let you go. Oh, up there, don't you see her face? That familiar heart, that familiar shape, and giving me a feeling I can't define. Oh, something's changed. Get those photos, guys. Oh, something's changed. It's just a silhouette, a flick in the blinds, just a mind trick. I don't know why, but it reminds me of something that I used to know. All that I can't forget is every night right beside me. I open my eyes and it reminds me I should have never let you go. I wanna put my arms around you, tell everyone that I found you, but you're just a shadow in my mind. You know you've got me so enchanted, why you gotta be cold-hearted, dancing on your own in the cold street light. It's just a silhouette, a flick in the blinds, just a mind trick. I don't know why, but it reminds me someone that I used to know. All that I can't forget is every night right beside me. All the eyes, and it reminds me I should have never let you go. So guys, thank you every single one of you for joining in the stream today, and remember, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings, and keep turboing on. Let's make 2017 every one of our years. Only we can do it. Love starts within ourselves, guys.